Hi everybody, welcome to Daily Deco. I'm Mark, a scuba diving instructor. I'm joined today with Shaun, who isn't a scuba diving instructor, but he does know quite a lot about scuba diving.
Thank you.
Now today's show, if you watched yesterday's show, we mentioned that we're going to be talking mainly about sort of how things are going to be changing for the Simply Scuba YouTube channel for February. Today I'm very much dressed as a hobo because it is fairly cold down in my dive locker. So excuse the fingerless hobo gloves. But yeah, so we're talking about sort of how things are changing because. If you're relatively new to the channel, quite a lot happened last year. So we basically changed businesses in effect, and then with the global pandemic and sort of national lockdowns and all that kind of stuff, it just made it very hard for Shaun and I to film as we normally would because we didn't have our studio, we couldn't leave our houses and all that kind of stuff. So we were trying to come up with an interesting sort of scuba diving topical kind of news daily show, and we came up with Daily Deco, which is Shaun and myself. We talk about sort of four sort of news stories and a product or a sponsor, and that was kind of it. But now, sort of going forwards, looking at your guys' comments and our sort of our work profiles, we're trying to sort of change it to make it a bit more streamlined, a bit more 2021, and yeah, basically just make our lives a little bit easier, to be brutally honest.
Yes.
So the first thing that's changing, and this is what, Monday next week?
Yes. 1st of February. So as soon as February happens. So this technically, Mark, this is the last. I'm not going to spoil anything. Bye.
So this is officially the last daily deco, because we're going to revert back to more of a daily scuba news, a DSN style, where it's going to be Shaun or myself just presenting to you guys, talking about one, maybe two news stories. I think of one, just to make life a little bit easier.
One's going to be the core, but yeah, if it's a bit light, if like we go, oh, this is a great article, and there's like a paragraph, then if there's a couple of those, then yeah, maybe two. But yeah, predominantly. Again, if you, previous to the new ownership, if you obviously were subscribed to Simply Scuba, you know DSN like the back of your hand. We did that show for years, so basically it's back. Yeah.
So every day, sort of Monday to Thursday, Shaun or myself, I think we're kind of going to alternate it. We're going to do a news story. It's going to be a bit more sort of scripted. Daily Deco was always a bit off the cuff, but the main difference is that it's going to be sort of filmed, edited, and uploaded and live on the very same day.
Yes.
So instead of if we just take a quick peek behind the silver curtain, we actually filmed this yesterday, and then because Shaun and I don't live together, we have to like email the clips backwards and forwards, and it just takes hours. So by the time that it's actually fully received and fully edited and then actually uploaded onto the internet, it's like an entire day has gone by. So by filming by ourselves, we don't have that transfer time, so that cuts quite a lot of time out of our calendar. So what we can actually do is film in the morning, edit it, upload it, but that means that the daily scuba news will go live at 5 o'clock, which is kind of it's kind of looking at the analytics, because we've been watching sort of when you guys have been sort of watching our show, and there's actually a peak towards the kind of mid-afternoon, and that's sort of British Standard Time, GMT. So all the daily scuba news is they're going to go live at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. But if you're subscribed to the channel, it shouldn't really matter. It will just pop up in your feed at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Question time is going to be much the same. It's changing name. It's officially going to be sort of renamed #AskMark.
Oh yeah.
But it's still going to be pretty much the same. It's going to be Shaun and myself just answering your questions all on a Friday. Except instead of being 7 o'clock in the morning, it's going to be scheduled to 5 o'clock to sort of go in line with the rest of our regular programming. The same with Surface Interval and Deep Dive on the Saturday and Sunday. Again, nothing's changing to those shows, but the time when they're actually uploaded is going to be at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Product overviews and product reviews, they're going to go live at 10 o'clock in the morning, GMT, every single day. At the moment, they're still product overviews because I don't have products with me. I do have a few sample products that I'm not allowed to talk about yet. But yeah, as soon as I do start having sort of products that I can physically show you again, the overviews where it's literally just me talking and then just pictures pop up, they're going to start to kind of disappear, and then it will just be me talking about stuff in front of me again.
Cool.
What else are we saying? So Deco Stop podcast is back, where we talk about sort of any website updates and sort of news updates from Daily Scuba News. And yeah, we also aim to get interviews with some scuba people. I've been speaking to a few boys and girls in the scuba industry, just to have a chat, introduce you to some new people, maybe some new scuba diving channels as well, and yeah, just talk to someone other than Shaun, to be honest. Ideally, we're aiming for that to go live at 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning, but a lot of that's dependent on sort of who we can get, basically.
Yeah, the Deco Stop, basically the whole reason why, because the original idea was to not bring that back, and it was just to have the shows go at 5, products at 10. But there are a lot of people that like Daily Deco, and they're quite vocal about it, which is brilliant. But like Mark says, the management on side of things on this, and especially now we're coming into the season, we want to basically, we need the time to create new videos. You know, Mark's got product reviews and overviews to film, and again, that's going to get busier, especially when we get that connection and Mark can actually start physically filming products. We need all that time available to us for him to film and for me to edit. But yeah, that's why I brought back the Deco Stop podcast, is because it's going to be like this. Basically, it's going to be this show, but it's once a week. If we can get an interview, we'll get an interview. If not, it's just going to be myself and Mark talking about scuba diving, being a bit random, and that's about it really. And then website updates, and you know, we might go, if you used to watch the old Deco Stop, obviously Mark used to have a topic that he used to speak about, so might do that. Obviously there's not going to be Q&As attached to that because we've got the Q&A on Friday as well. So yeah, it's just trying to bring back what we used to do and also tie in something that what we've been doing as filler for the past couple of months.
Yes. And also, you've got some new stuff I see on the list, Shaun.
Yes. So basically,
you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah, I might as well. So obviously I'm really excited about having DSN being more reactive, because when we used to film DSN, we used to film it in the morning and then it used to go live the following morning. But now we're looking more at the analytics and we're reacting to what time you guys watch, because it makes more sense for videos to go live when majority of our subscribers are online, are on YouTube and are watching videos. It just makes more sense for us to pop up on your feed then. So I'm really excited about DSM being daily, but because of that, it also means that we can transfer it over to Instagram. So our Instagram feed is going massively at the moment. The growth since we've come back on it has been really, really good. We started with generic pictures and stuff like that. Now we do posts, obviously, to products. Now we've got products, and obviously we do links and stuff to videos on YouTube. But what I've always wanted to do is to have the Daily Scuba News element embedded into Instagram as well. And now that's what we're going to be doing. And basically, because of how things are, what's probably going to happen is it'll probably go live. Daily Scuba News will end up probably going live on Instagram first than it would on YouTube, and purely for the fact that we don't schedule them. So once we've edited everything, that will, once, I don't know, the video's getting uploaded to YouTube, Mark and myself will be downloading the episode of Daily Scuba News onto our phones for us to then obviously upload to the Instagram feed. So that will go live whenever during the day, which is really good. It just means that, you can almost get a heads up. So it's definitely worth your while checking out Daily Scuba News and checking out obviously on our Instagram feed. And if you are on Instagram, hit that follow, like some pictures, do some commenting. Yeah, the growth on our Instagram is really, really good, and I'm excited to see how well Daily Scuba News does on our Instagram TV feed. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
Yes.
Also, as well, over the Christmas period, I did put up a poll, put up a penguin, a poll asking you guys whether, because we're very active on the community tab, and I want that to, well, we're kind of interactive now. There's not many polls or anything that we do at the moment, but basically I put a poll out asking whether you guys want us to share some YouTube channels that either your YouTube channel, as long as it's scuba diving, or YouTube channels that have inspired you to basically help build up this community. Because we've got a really big platform here on Simply Scuba. We're very active with how our channel is, and it's growing every day, and we're one of the biggest on YouTube that isn't attached to a production company or something like that. So yeah, we basically, as I put a poll out asking whether you want us to share channels, and obviously that got a resounded like 97% said yes, which is it was gonna. So basically, every Wednesday from Friday at 2 p.m. GMT, we're gonna have a channel spotlight. So it's just gonna indicate a YouTube channel, a scuba diving YouTube channel that we thoroughly enjoy. From its advice, reviews, whatever, like it's pictures, as long as it goes underwater and it involves scuba diving and we enjoy it and we think that you guys will enjoy it, it will get shared on there. But also, if you guys and girls have got any channels, let us know in the comments. Share it to the world, and then if we like the channel, if we think it's a good run, we'll put it forward to the channel spotlight. So February's channels, because it's obviously only once a week at this moment. February's all booked out. I've got that all pre-scheduled and everything's sat in there in the community tab. But yeah, from going forward, as I say, we can get stuff sorted, and yeah, you can share the love basically and get other people involved. Because a lot of people, when I put the comments on there, a lot of obviously the poll up there, a lot of people saying, I didn't know who Divers Ready was until you started talking to him or talking to us about him. It's through basically the comments were because of us mentioning things, or because people were creating very similar videos to how we used to film, and hopefully in the future that we will film again. It would obviously, YouTube would recommend them. So basically then because of this is going to sound self-serving and snooty, but it's not, but because of us, it's enabled another, almost like a smaller YouTube community to thrive, and I want to get that even bigger. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. But yeah, no, it's nice to hear that. Yeah, what was it? Yeah, definitely Divers Ready. A lot of comments were like, people were like, I didn't even know they existed until I think we either mentioned them or they started. Yeah, we started doing very similar videos or similar style videos. So then obviously then the YouTube algorithm, favors it's going on. But yeah, I'm excited about that. But yeah, is it all right to touch base on obviously what you've already said? I won't take too long because you've already said it about changes and stuff. So the changes that a lot of people are like, well, why are you reverting back to DSN? We were always going to revert back to DSN. As soon as we had a studio, the plan was to go back to how things were before, basically, because the channel's been like that for 5 years. It's been running like that for 5 years. So we were always keen to get back to that mentality and get back into the rhythm of things. So that was always going to happen. Obviously we don't have a studio. Lockdown number 3 has completely squashed all of that. So we're going to have to re-look at things, aren't we, Mark? Studio wise, when this lockdown eases up. But yeah, we thought, well, with everything that's happening, we want a good season. The channel's starting to pick up again. It's all starting to come back into season. We need the time to be flexible. Basically, we just don't want to be running around making rubbish content or half-assed content for you guys. You know, I'd rather, you know, us have the time to write a script for Daily Scuba News rather than learning about what's going on as we're filming it. Yeah.
Which I'm currently doing now.
Yeah, exactly that. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the vibe, and the vibe on Daily Deco is amazing, and that's what people like. And again, with the Q&A, we want to do that, and with the Daily Deco Stock podcast, that's an extra bonus that we want to keep this rapport up. But yeah, you know. Obviously, Daily Scuba News, it used to be sponsored. We used to have sponsors on that channel. They used to either, you know, pay us some money, or, you know, we scratch their back so they scratch ours further down the line, you know, that sort of thing. And we need to get back to that, basically. We need to get back to that level of sponsorship and professionalism. So yeah, it was always going to happen. And yeah, it's going to be a bit weird, the algorithm. Daily Scuba News has always gone live at 7 a.m. Daily Deco's always gone live at 7 a.m. We've always been led at 7 a.m. morning, but yeah, it just makes more sense, doesn't it, Mark, for us to actually release the videos when the majority of our subscribers are actually on YouTube watching.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just exciting times. I'm excited to film in the morning and to film, you know, get it all live on the in the afternoon. Also, as well. Yes. Obviously, these are podcasts, so these go live on podcast. The Daily Scuba News, that's going to be the podcast. We've paid this subscription, so we might as well just upload. You get a bite-sized news story every single day. Again, that will be at 5 p.m. So that'll go live when the video goes live, as I say. But if you want to watch the story sooner, or the Daily Scuba News sooner, pop over to our Instagram. But yeah, I'm excited. Are you excited about the changes?
Yeah. It's kind of, it's quicker, it's more reactive, yes. And this was kind of always on our radar, or something that we kind of wanted to do. And yeah, it was just a mixture of that and your guys' comments saying, these are getting really long, and you're like, well, yeah, that's kind of what Daily Deco was. It's just a silly show. So yeah, the bringing back Daily Scuba News just always kind of made sense. And changing the time frame just means that as long as you're watching it at that time, it means that we don't have to waste another 12 hours to make it go live at 7 a.m. So yeah, it kind of makes sense.
No, it's good. I'm excited.
So yeah, stay tuned for February. A few changes are coming. Moving on to just regular underwater news. So the first news story comes from Apeks Aqua Lung, who now have a brand spanking new, what do they call it? A global underwater, a global ocean ambassador.
Spoilers.
So as you know,
it's me.
Yeah, right. So as you might know, most of the brands have brand ambassadors. So they kind of sponsor these kind of key persons, and they kind of give them the sort of all of their equipment and all that kind of stuff. They do their amazing underwater adventures. They're wearing that sort of brand's equipment, and they get photographed doing it, basically, all this kind of stuff. But Aqua Lung announced is that January 26th, so a couple days ago. This is the problem with sort of filming and then it takes so long. So Aqua Lung announced that renowned wildlife photographer and conservationist Paul Nicklen is joining the Aqua Lung brand as a global ocean ambassador. So Nicklen, you've probably seen a lot of his sort of photographs. He does stuff for sort of National Geographic, sort of from pole to pole and all over the place. And he's a big sort of underwater conservationist and photographer. So chances are you've probably seen him, even if you haven't noticed. And now he's part of the sort of Aqua Lung kind of team, basically. So you're going to start seeing him in Aqua Lung and Apeks diving equipment. He's joining the elite roster of ambassadors at Aqua Lung, including Philippe Cousteau Jr. I imagine you know who that is. Ashlyn Gorse Cousteau and Greg Lecoeur. And so he's about to go down to the Bahamas, I think, for like 6 months. And it's a rough job being one of these ambassadors.
Poor guy.
I know. So he's a Canadian photographer, Paul Nicklen. Marine biologist, all that kind of stuff. He specializes in sort of the polar regions. He's done all sorts of stuff for National Geographic. He co-founded Sea Legacy. Actually in 2019, it says that Nicklen was inducted into the International Photography Hall of Fame, and in the same year he was appointed to the Order of Canada. So he's a good man. They definitely got a good guy sort of in from it. Where is it? Okay, so Nicklen and the crew from Sea Legacy are scheduled to spend the next 6 months in the Bahamas, focusing on the development of an immersive content series for a global audience, shedding light on critical threats, tipping points, and scalable solutions unique to the region. So congratulations to both of them. They both Aqua Lung and Nicklen. Nicklen's getting all sorts of sort of fancy new Aqua Lung equipment. Nice. As well as Apeks gear as well, and Apeks do have some Apeks Aqua Lung have got some sort of interesting stuff coming up. Stay tuned for that, and you'll start seeing some amazing pictures on the sort of Apeks and Aqua Lung sort of Instagram feeds, and Nicklen's as well. So sort of check them out on Instagram.
Cool.
The next news story comes from Alabama, and they basically back in when was it? Was it 2014? There was basically 2004 Hurricane Ivan, if you remember that. So apparently this hurricane sort of blew over, and what it basically did is it stirred up a lot of sediment in the waters around Alabama, and it uncovered this like sunken ancient forest, and since then, environmental journalist Ben Raines sort of went into this kind of arboreal seascape, they describe it as, and they were kind of checking it out, and they brought back samples. They sent off samples of this wood to scientists, lab, whatever, and they like radiocarbon dated it, and they described it as like radiocarbon dead, which basically means that it's over 50,000 years old, and because it was in this like unique sediment, it was all sort of covered up. It's like so well preserved, and of course, like furniture companies have gone, whoa, we want that wood because it's so well preserved and it's unique. We can like turn it into a really expensive coffee table.
Don't do that.
Of course, but luckily there was a Republican sort of congressman who basically said, no. So they're like really like rushing to get this a protected area, because they reckon these trees, they're like 60,000 years old, and they describe it as a literal like treasure trove of like information about it was a paleoclimatologist basically saying, oh no, we kind of want to know what the climate was like sort of back then. This is amazingly preserved information. Please don't turn it into a coffee table. Otherwise, we start taking like core samples of people's coffee tables to get information about what the climate was like, what the sort of plant life was like hundreds of thousands of years ago, so that or tens of thousands of years ago, I guess, so that they can sort of better understand climate change and sort of what's going on. So hopefully they can sort of get this in. Apparently the Army Corps of Engineers had received a permit request in 2020 from a furniture company seeking to salvage wood from the site. And Republican representative from Alabama, Bradley Byrne, proposed the creation of a national. It's Bravo Yankee Romeo November Echo. Byron. Bradley, proposed the creation of a national marine sanctuary encompassing the ancient underwater forest. And he said the underwater forest is another unique Alabama gem with global importance. As the only known site where a coastal ice age forest this old has been preserved in place, we must take action now to protect it. This is a one of a kind natural wonder like Yellowstone National Park or the Grand Canyon. It should be protected from exploitation and saved for the American people, just like those amazing sites on land. And it's true, yeah. It's like, no, just don't turn it into a coffee table or a commode or whatever you do with wood.
Toothpick.
Yeah. Do you want a 60,000-year-old toothpick?
Yeah.
It's like $6,000, but hey, it's 60,000 years old. Oh yeah, that's kind of cool. So hopefully so that will sort of all get protected, and the scientists can do their things, taking core samples and learn something about climate 60,000 years ago. Because we got enough coffee tables in our world.
Yes.
Ugh.
We do.
The next news story, I'm kind of racing through these. So the next one is, so in Australia, scientists, or off the coast of Australia, scientists have discovered the first carnivorous species of sea sponge around 10,000 feet underwater.
Wow.
Now it's Australia, so of course it's carnivorous, but it's kind of one of these things that only in the past like 5 or 6 years, scientists have suddenly been sort of discovering these carnivorous sea sponges. Normally sponges are just, they kind of sit there on the reef, and as the kind of nutrients kind of filter through them, they kind of extract what they need and grow from that. This specific, I think it's actually created a new, I don't know how you pronounce it, but I want to say genera. It's like a new type of sea sponge. It's kind of like a Venus flytrap. It catches things and then just like digests it, kind of, and uses what it needs. They just found a new species off the coast of Australia. So these little guys, they're kind of spiky. Someone described them as like looking like flowers, and you're like, yeah, if a flower was terrifying, they basically just kind of grow. They catch like crustaceans and stuff, and they just sort of take their nutrients and then grow out of it. So they found the following new species of carnivorous sponges: Nullabora heptaxia, Abyssocladia, Oxyasters, and Lycopodia hystrix.
Cool.
Funky names. But yeah, they're now classified as a new genera, in addition to a closely related yet not carnivorous species of sponge, Duitara David Conroy.
Oh.
David Conroy.
David Conroy.
I wonder who that's named after. Apparently all 4 of these species were discovered diving to depths to 9,842 feet, which is about 3 kilometers down. The researchers wrote in a paper that was published this month. Here we report on an additional 4 new species of sponges discovered from the Great Australian Bight, South Australia. So they're using sort of remote ROVs and all that kind of stuff, obviously, and sort of recovering these samples. But yeah, every single time we go down to the sort of the extreme depths, they discover new species, and now we're finding carnivorous sponges. So who knows, maybe in about 5-10 years this will be some special health treatment, like those fish that kind of eat your feet or something. This will just be a whole bunch of sea sponges. You put it on your face and it like gets rid of wrinkles.
That's horrible. It's either that, or this is finally they found the predator for lionfish.
Maybe. I don't think these guys are particularly fast moving, so you'd literally have to like
throw them
put it on a lionfish,
That's
and the
what you
lionfish
do.
would just like shrug it off.
No. Start nibbling it.
But no, yeah, carnivorous sponges. It's like, are you kidding?
Only
Only in Australia,
Yeah,
man.
only in Australia. Yeah. They can't have anything
They-
normal over there, can they?
No, there's a tree, and there's literally like a warning sign outside of it. It's like, oh yeah, don't even sit under this tree because the sap will like burn your skin, and if you like consume it, it will kill you. If you touch the bark, you'll get a rash, and it's like, oh my god, there's just terrible sort of things out there. I was out there last year before the pandemic and everything, and we went to a botanical garden, and you're like, oh, look at all these beautiful things, and then there's like this horrific looking spider just like casually there, and that's like in the middle of Sydney, and you're like, huh, all right.
No, thank you.
Good heavens. So yeah, Australia, it's a country where everything wants to kill you. Anyway, that's it today. So yeah, to summarise, basically we're going to a daily sort of news story. So instead of talking about 4 or 5 sort of different stories, we're only going to be talking about 1, maybe 2 if the stories are fairly short. It's only going to be myself or Shaun doing them. And then on Friday, we'll still do our sort of daily Q&A, but they're all going to be going live at 5 o'clock GMT in the afternoon. Other than that, everything else is kind of changing the same. It's just it's staying the same, but the time is going to be changing. So at the moment, most of our stuff goes live at about 7 o'clock in the morning. So now we're just dialing it back to 5 o'clock in the afternoon so that we can actually film and edit it the very same day. If you do have any interesting news stories, let us know down in the comments below. If you've done anything interesting or found anything interesting that you want more people to know about, pop it down there. If you have any questions, then use the hashtag AskMark. So you just type Ask Mark and then your question, and that just means that we'll find it much more easier. They'll be answered on the Friday show. We're going to be filming that like sort of when this goes live, so if you do put anything sort of down in this today's video, then it probably will get answered next Friday, so don't worry if you don't mention it tomorrow. But yeah, stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed and you enjoy our wonderful content, because it's all going to change next week. Yeah, thank you for watching, and of course, safe diving.
Guys, it's been emotional. I'm going to miss you, Mark.
It's a chain. I know. Now, the only like social interaction I'm gonna have is just my dog Rupert and Darcy. It's like,
It's fine. It's fine. You'll be all right. No, it's fine. It's for the greater good. Anyway, guys, bye.
yeah.
I'm not gonna end it like that though. Stay classy, scuba divers.